Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 134 for February 2nd to February 4th. Thanks for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of a special celebration at home. We've got a very special celebration tonight. It's my wife's birthday. I'm very excited. Happy birthday, Maureen. So let's go ahead and get started. It's a really simple menu. First thing we're going to do is put the polenta in a small pot and put it on medium-low. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because I started off the other stuff. So I want to make sure that the polenta, which will come out as a brick, and it will just melt into something delicious. Shouldn't even need to season. Just make sure to stir it with a spatula every once in a while. The metal tin that the lamb meatballs come in, just take the top off and pour the tomato sugo on top, and then put it right in the oven for 15 minutes at 450 degrees. And then you can just forget about it, which is awesome. Let's have a little taste of wine. This is a Leading Post Pinot Noir Rosé. For those of you smart enough to have done the wine pairings this week, it is gorgeous. I love this. It reminds me of summertime a little bit. Piece of strawberries and watermelon, very fresh, herbal, beautiful, and going to be great with our salad tonight. So, I got a strange direction from the chef. He says, take your kale and massage it for 30 seconds. So really, you're just going to be doing this, and you're going to break it down so that it's nice and tender. He says 30 seconds. I assume not every bunch is 30 seconds, so I'm going to spend 30 seconds doing the whole box. Let's just assume that that's what he meant, because nobody wants to massage kale for like 5 minutes. So kind of 5 seconds per batch. And apparently you should do this anytime you make a kale salad at home if you want it a little more tender. Break down the fibers, and we're going to toss in the blue cheese dressing, and then add some salt and pepper, and then we're going to garnish it with all these beautiful garnishes. And first time in the longest time that I can remember, you're actually going to need a knife tonight because you're going to cut an apple. We want to send you with a fresh apple so that it doesn't oxidize while it is in our fridge and our delivery vehicle coming to you. So there you go. My kale is almost massaged. There we go. It even looks more green and bright, which is kind of fun. All right, how's our polenta doing? Want to make sure we don't burn it, so just keep stirring, sort of mashing it away. Lovely. Okay, so you really don't need the full apple, just use half an apple. What I'm going to do is I might do it two different ways to show you two different ways. So this is the way I would do it, is I would core it with a knife like that, but if you're not comfortable with that, you can do what my wife does, which is just slice it around the core. And that's really all you need, is sort of, a third of an apple. And you can slice it like this so that it comes out in a fan. And that's a nice way to do it. Or I'm going to do another one where I slice it right through, and we'll see which one looks nicer. And that way I can actually use the rest of this quarter. Hopefully the camera can see this. My yoga instructor has two different cameras when he does his videos. And he says, camera one, camera two, and it's fun. Okay, that's massaged. So, delicious blue cheese dressing goes on in there. And then some salt and pepper. By the way, for those of you who have a place up in Sault-Ste-Marie or in that area, we're going to try to do our Sault-Ste-Marie meal kit deliveries again starting next week. So starting only on Saturdays, we will release the menu on Saturdays for the following Saturday, and then the cutoffs will be Friday afternoon. And you just pick them up at Chez Malo in Sault-Ste-Marie. Sadly, we can't sell you wine because it's interprovincial barriers, but you can pick up some wine for home there at Chez Malo. We're going to recommend some wines for the SIQ that they will bring in, and they will do a very gentle markup in order to be able to hook you up with something delicious to be paired with your meal kit. Okay, so kale goes down. You can do it in a big coupe bowl or a pasta bowl, or in my case, on a plate. Let's see, we've got 4 more minutes for the meatballs. Let's make sure the polenta, we keep stirring that. Oh yes, I forgot. We need to cook our mushrooms. I thought it was just like super simple. Okay, so medium-high heat, a little bit of neutral cooking oil. In my case, grapeseed oil, but you can use canola oil or vegetable oil, but not olive oil because it's not high enough heat. Okay, let's figure out what to do next. So we've got our corn. Corn has actually got some pickling liquid on it, so I'm gonna, I don't know if you saw that, but just drain the pickling liquid off with your hands. That's a lot of corn. We might cut back on the corn. That's why we do these videos. And then we have our roasted butternut squash. Can't have too much butternut squash with kale salad in the wintertime. And then we've got our roasted pepitas, otherwise known as pumpkin seeds. It's got a really nice spice on here. And I'm just going to place the apple all around on this one. I think I'm going to like this better than the fan, which is more like 1980s hotel dining. But let's try that out. Maybe my wife will like that for her birthday presentation. Okay, mushrooms going in. King Rengis. We're going to go for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to throw some butter and some arugula in there. All right, so salad. What am I missing? Radish, which the chef did not include. So we're going to go with the salad as is, but yours is going to get some radish on it as well. So there we go, our beautiful massaged kale salad with the pickled corn, the roasted squash, Honeycrisp apple, and toasted pepitas with the blue cheese dressing. And by the way, we have this lovely sticky toffee pudding, which needs to go in the oven for 5 minutes at 350. So I'm going to probably pull it out a minute early because I've got my oven going on at 450 because I want everything ready for the picture. Polenta's looking good. Mine's a little firm, so I'm going to add a little bit of cream to it just to loosen it up a little bit. So feel free to add a little bit of cream or milk if after a few minutes it hasn't loosened up as much as you would like. And again, saute our king-a-ringis. And yes, we are going to season the polenta with salt and pepper. So ignore what I said earlier. All right, cream no longer necessary. But it was nice to be able to soften up the polenta a little bit. Okay. So the mushrooms are basically done. So I'm going to turn my oven off, which will drop it in temperature for my dessert, which is great, while the mushrooms are going on. And let me make sure what's up next. 1 tablespoon of butter per person. And when it's melted, you're going to put your garlic in there. Garlic confit. And it's got a little bit of oil in there. You can choose to put it in there or not. I think it's going to be lovely, especially with the arugula that's going in. So as soon as that's done, confit garlic, give it a go. You can turn this off, and that's when we put the arugula in. And that's going to melt it in there nicely. Don't forget to season with salt and pepper. All right. And the red wine tonight, by the way, we had to go with something red for the meatballs. This is a Sangiovese from Tuscany, La Mozza, and it's actually owned by a famous restaurateur in New York City. And we've known this one for quite some time, and it's delicious. Okay, so the meatballs are here, looking good. Move that over. So let's see how we're going to plate polenta. Chef suggests a large pasta bowl. I've got this lovely coupe that we use in the restaurant. So that's what we're going to do for the polenta base. Our son is actually working tonight, so he can have leftovers when he gets home. He loves to go work out later at night as well, and he always comes home very hungry. I think he will dig this. Okay. Next place, mushrooms and arugula. I want to make sure to keep my brand new, got this new saute pan, nice Perderno red saute pan nonstick for Christmas, and I want to make sure that we preserve it. And make sure that you get some of the green and brown on the outside, not just underneath the meatballs. So you can almost put it in a line there. A little more arugula there for me. For me, I've already picked out my dish. Isn't that funny? And then finish with the meatballs and the sugo. So 5 generous local lamb meatballs per person. I'm going to try plating this a little bit differently and see which one looks better. And the tinfoil containers don't hold the heat very much, so if you hold it on the edges, you should be able to pour without burning your hands. That's a good looking dish. I'm just going to do a little bit of salt and pepper there. And then the feta, you can top any way you like. This is a beautiful dish. Not that I was skeptical, but sometimes you think meatballs, not going to be the prettiest thing, but this is a really pretty dish. And I think this one that I've got for my wife is going to be the Instagram worthy one. There you go. Lovely lamb meatballs with the tomato sugo, king rangi mushrooms, arugula, roasted garlic, and the lovely polenta. And finally, we've got dessert. Sticky toffee pudding. Ooh, that looks decadent. Get that last bit in there. And let's see. We've got the salted toffee sauce. I'm going to sort of pour this around. Make sure to bring these to room temperature, otherwise they're going to be a little bit solid, sticky. Stickier than you want for your sticky toffee pudding. And our chamomile creme anglaise. If you can, sort of drizzle a little lime. It's going to look really pretty. Look at that beautiful dessert. Hope you love your meal. Thanks for ordering this week. Valentine's Day, by the way, almost sold out. So if you're interested, we've got a beautiful one. And if you want to celebrate it on the weekend, we actually have it as the same as the big night in the following week. So cheers, and hope we get to cook and curate for you again soon.